everyone, this is Rabbit Explorer Animation Bliss, and welcome to another Spotlight Cartoon Corner. So today's Spotlight cartoon we talk about today is Danny Phantom. And before I get into my thoughts about the show, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday and Monday. If you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean there was a bit of anime news released in the week, but new videos will be posted up every Sunday and Monday. So now let's get into the show Danny Phantom. So Danny Phantom was a show that was created by Butch Hartman, and basically, what the show was all about is about a young boy named Danny Phantom who lives in a town where everybody hates ghosts. And it turns out that his own parents are ghost hunters and they go out and hunt ghosts on a day to day basis. One day, Danny ends up going to his parents' ghost portal. And when he goes inside the portal, he ends up getting powers that's like of the ghost. So he becomes half ghost. But even though Danny uses his new ghost powers to save the world from any kind of ghostly menace, he can't tell anybody about his powers except for his friends Sam and Tucker, who are the only ones who know about his powers. And then his sister Jazz eventually finds out later on. But the reason why Danny can't tell anybody about his powers is because he lives in a town where everybody hates ghosts, and his own parents are ghost hunters. So he runs the risk of putting himself in danger if anybody knows about his true secret identity. And that's basically what this show Danny Phantom is all about. So, what are my thoughts about Danny Phantom? I honestly think this is Butch Hartman's best series. Like, it's much more character driven and story driven than his other series, The Fairly Odd Parents. But then again, The Fairly Odd Parents is a completely different show, so I can kind of understand that. But yeah, I felt like that Danny Phantom as a whole was always a more character driven series, and that's what I really liked about this show. It was like one of my all time favorite shows during the mid 2000s, and I love how they wrote each of the characters, especially Danny himself. Like, we see that Danny's a friendly character and that he's trying to balance his life between school and saving the world. And I like how the show was able to explore about what it being a superhero is like for a teenager. Like, we've seen it play a couple of times with Spider-Man himself, and I think Spider-Man is like the big example of superheroes who were teenagers and how they're trying to balance their life between being a teenager and trying to save the world at the same time. And they do this also with Danny Phantom. Like, they try to have Danny try to balance his life at school while also he's trying to be a superhero at the same time. But then he has that problem about he can't tell anybody his secret because he's a part ghost, and he lives in a town where everybody hates ghosts, and his own parents are also ghost hunters, and there's also ghost hunters in there too. And then it also affects his relationships with certain people. Like, I think this is best conveyed with his relationship with Valerie. Valerie is also a ghost hunter, but and she and Danny ended up falling in love with each other, but Danny can't be with her because he's part ghost and Valerie's a ghost hunter. So I like how they convey Danny's dilemma with that with being half ghost, because he can't be with certain people because he's half ghost, and the person he's with um just hate ghosts, and that was the case between him and Valerie. And I really like that storyline in the series. Another thing I really liked about the series is that it can go into dark places at times. Like, the episode The Ultimate Enemy was definitely the biggest example of how dark the show can go. And I like how the show is able to go into like mature storylines while still be family friendly for the kids. And that just adds more to how story driven the show really is, and how it's not afraid to go into dark and mature places when it needs to go there. And that's what I really enjoyed about the show. I also liked Danny's friendship with Sam and Tucker. Like, they were really good friends towards Danny, and they really supported Danny in everything he does. Even though they know that he's half ghost, they don't really care. It's like, yeah, Danny's still a friend, and we're still gonna stick by him anyway. So that's what I love, that aspect of Sam, Tucker, and Danny's friendship with each other. And I think the show portrays their friendship very well in this series. And I also like his relationship with Jazz. Again, Jazz is another character who knows about Danny's secret, and she's Danny's sister. So I like the relationship between the both of them too. Now, there were some problems that I had with this show. It was basically about the third season, and that was because they left a lot of plot threads hanging there. Like, from what I understand, one of the writers, Steve Mamel, I believe, he was fired midway through the show's run, and because of that, they left like certain plot threads like regarding Dark Danny and Valerie left hanging by the time the third season came around. So it felt like the third season was like it just dropped a lot of the important storylines from the first two seasons, and then we get this season that's completely different from the first two seasons, and that's why I was like, I wish Danny Phantom got revived because at least we have a season that resolve all the plot threads that involve Valerie and Dark Danny, and I'd like to see those plot threads get resolved pretty soon because it's killing me inside that I don't know anything about what's going on with Dark Danny and what's going on with Valerie. So yeah, that's why I didn't care much for the third season that much because it dropped a lot of plot threads that were very important in the first two seasons, and I think it had to do with having new writers being put to write the third season. So that was my big problem with the third season. But overall, I really enjoyed Danny Phantom. I honestly think this is Butch Hartman's best show. It's so character driven, it's so story driven, and I like how they wrote each of the characters. And this is definitely a series I wouldn't mind seeing revive again. Even though Butch Hartman, as of this video, had left Nickelodeon, so I don't know what they're gonna do with Danny Phantom at this point. But I would love to see them revive the show if they can. Like I said, we have to wait and see what Nickelodeon's gonna do about this. But yeah, definitely check out Danny Phantom if you want to see some of Butch Hartman's best works. So that's my review on Danny Phantom, and please feel free to tell me in the comments down below, have you seen Danny Phantom? And if you have, did you like the show? Did you hate the show? Did you think this was Butch Hartman's best work? Or do you think The Fairly Odd Parents or Tough Puppy was Butch Hartman's best work? Please let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter so we can keep you updated on new videos we post up, and also like our Facebook page. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabbity Explorer Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Love the wonderful world of animation? Then please feel free to subscribe to this channel to check out more animation news, reviews, and discussions. Thanks for the support, and stay happy, animation fans.